Islands have always played a critical role in geopolitical competition, whether for exploration, trade, or defense. The 20 islands dotted across the Indian and Pacific Oceans are no exception. These islands long held strategic value for larger powers. Historically, the island government's priorities were overshadowed by nations with greater political, economic, and military strength. These major players provided security for the islands and divided the Indo-Pacific into smaller pockets of power and influence. But as China and others look to expand their economic and political global footprint, these tiny nations can have outsized importance. The islands share extensive common interests, from combating climate change to maintaining the blue economy, the economic output generated by the sustainable use of our oceans through tourism, fishing, shipping, and more. Many of these islands depend on the ocean economy for large portions of their GDP. Great powers have long leveraged the islands to further their military objectives. During the colonial era, the islands were critical to European powers in controlling and dominating the Indian Ocean. During World War II, islands in the Pacific were central to naval campaigns between the United States and Japan. Afterward, as islands gained independence from their colonial overseers, many of these newly sovereign nations entered into military agreements with bigger powers. Many others remained as sovereign territory of bigger powers, including for their strategic value. Many of the islands are located along critical trade routes that the European powers have also jostled to control for centuries. Sri Lanka, for example, has been an important stop on the maritime Silk Road since ancient times. Today, as China's interest and influence in the Indo-Pacific deepens, traditional regional powers are finding themselves competing with China to win the favor of the islands. As part of its Belt and Road Initiative, China has invested large sums in Sri Lanka infrastructure at Colombo's request. But the United States and India have expressed concerns that it could be used for Chinese military purposes. For many island nations, there's an upside to this power shift. They can leverage their increasing importance to address island priorities and break away from the influence of a singular power. They can demand new protocols to prevent illegal fishing and receive assistance to develop climate-resilient infrastructure. And although the United States, China, and others may be focused on military or economic power grabs, these island nations' priorities and concerns should be front and center.